Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sevr Sevn, and today we are taking a look at the ZT0308. This knife did come from the Lefty Pass Around group, and it's going to get sent back to them right after this review. Now, to be honest, guys, I didn't know. I was not around for the old ZT, but I know whenever the ZT0545 got dropped, which I thought was an awesome little knife, people were mad. Like, they were super mad. And I'm like, why? And people just kept talking about how it wasn't like the old ZT. And then whenever the ZT0556 was announced, people seemed pretty ticked off at that too, which I also thought that was a cool little knife. And I was trying to wrap my head around it. I was like, what did old ZT bring to the table that's making people hate on these newer, smaller ones? Well, that's about the time I got this ZT0308 in hand, and wow. I still like those smaller knives, but holy cow. I'm starting to understand why people miss the old ZT. Because this thing is an absolute beast, and I love it. Let's hit the specs. So we have an 8.88 inch overall length, blade length of 3.75, blade to handle ratio of 73%, so we're not quite hitting that 80% that we like to see. A huge slab of M390, and M390 is good for its decent edge retention and 9 out of 10 corrosion resistance, low toughness, medium ease of sharpening, but the big one here is going to be edge retention and corrosion resistance. I could not find an HRC for this guy on the website. We're sporting this really nice satin blade, bit of a harpoon drop point. Got this nice swedge up here, just for looks. Very aggressive. We have a flat grind on the blade. Sorry for the shake. And then our handle material is a massive slab of carbon fiber, followed up with a secondary slab of titanium. We've got a medium carry pocket clip. And overall, we're coming in at 7 ounces. 7 ounces for this guy. It's like having a small steak in your pocket. Now, of course, this is made in the USA. Go US. And for a quick size comparison, not that there's much of a comparison to be had here, we're going to put it up against the CGRB Acacia. And we're going to put it up against the Vosteed Raccoon. And as you can tell, both of them are absolutely dwarfed by the ZT. Probably 3 times the weight, 2 or 3 inches on both of them. So it's really not even close. As far as the build quality goes, this thing feels substantial. And not just heavy, right? Because, 7 ounces, that's heavy for a knife, but whenever I say substantial, I mean, this knife is engaging your entire hand, right? Like, you are locked in, and there isn't a single space that feels like it was left out or forgotten. Like, attention to every detail was put into this knife. This thing is an absolute monster. Aesthetically, it's got a unique aesthetic, right? Typically you see knives, and yeah, there are some chonkers out there, but typically you see knives and they've got straight lines. They're ergonomic. They're balanced. They're, made to look pretty, whatever. They throw all that out the window for this guy. They said, is it American enough yet? And the designers were like, nope, we can do more American. And then that's exactly what they proceeded to do. They made it unnecessarily large. They slapped carbon fiber on it, titanium on it. And they said, this is not for somebody who's looking for the practical. This is somebody who's looking for the badass. And that is what they accomplished, because this knife is absolutely a badass knife. Now, feel in hand. Because of how big they've made it, this thing's comfortable. I mean, you've got plenty of room. Just kind of relax all day. Loose grip, tight grip, just, I mean, really whatever makes you happy. You know, wherever you want to post up, you're going to be comfy. I have no issues with the way this handle feels. Now, if I white knuckle it, I will start to feel some pocket clip, right? It's if I white knuckle it. All right, but if I'm just holding it, cutting boxes, right? Cutting rope, cutting away the chains of oppression from a communist nation. You know what I'm saying? Just the daily stuff. This is going to feel just fine. As far as the action goes, this is writing on bearings. The action, for being flipper only, and for the size of this blade, the action's incredible. It whips out with authority and this controlled close. Just fantastic. I never would have expected to have such a good detent on a blade that's so heavy. And the fact that it doesn't just guillotine, the fact that it actually needs a little bit of encouragement there at the end, is awesome. Now for the acoustics, I'm going to flip it silently. That way you know if the acoustics are right for you. Now, as far as the lock bar axis and disengagement, they do have it scalloped a little bit in there, making it really comfortable to just get in there, push, and disengage. You have a good travel distance too. You have enough travel distance to make it feel satisfying. And then the acoustics, they just sound fantastic. Now, what's the damage on this bad boy? Well, you know, whenever you start throwing around terms like made in the US, you know, overbuilt, and you have this much raw materials, it's not hard for the price to get up there pretty dang quick. But brand new, this knife is coming in at about 420 bucks, right? And that's because it's made in the US. You have a literal ton of raw materials that are built well, you know, and ZT is a more premium brand. Now, is this knife for everybody? No. No, this knife is definitely not for everyone. This knife is for a specific audience. Someone willing to spend 400 plus on a pocket knife. Somebody who wants something that is substantial and borderline unwieldy. Someone who values American-made products and really enjoys the polarizing aesthetic of this knife. I didn't think I would like this knife because it's not really my style. I will say, however, it's been in my pocket much more often than I would have thought it was. And, you know, that's because it, outside of being incredibly snappy and incredibly fun to put to work, it's super utilitarian. I mean, this thing mows through boxes all day long, right? But it's still usable enough for me that I can also open the letters, you know what I'm saying, cut the bread ties, you know, whatever little stuff I'm doing. I didn't run into anything while I carried this that made me think I wish I had a different knife. And that means something, especially for a knife of this size. So this thing blew me out of the water. Now, if you fit the description of the type of person who would like this knife and you just want to know if it's good, yes. For the right person, I can recommend this knife 100%. Like I said, if you're fine paying over 400 bucks, you value American made, you like chonky knives, you know, something that's definitely a conversation piece as soon as it comes out of the pocket. You enjoy snappy action, snappy acoustics. good ergonomics, and you're willing to sacrifice, some pocket space, then I would say, yeah, this knife would definitely be a top consideration for you. Absolutely. Now, the links to this knife will be down in the description. This knife has been out for a while, sold out most places, but anywhere I can find it, I will link below. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. I do want to ask that you follow me on Instagram at SEVR, SEVN. That's Sevr Sevn on Instagram. Please like, please subscribe. Any links in the description will not be affiliate links. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.